Hello all. Thank you for your support and interest. We've reached 250 patrons on the Patreon account, which makes you early adopters. The landscape of ideas to be covered is complicated, but I think I've found a way to do this so that it will be intuitive for those with little prior exposure to this kind of thinking. You'll start seeing that soon. A number of people have expressed an interest in continuing developments in the Evergreen story. In an effort not to pollute the science with unnecessary controversy, I will provide those updates in a separate playlist on the YouTube channel. But be prepared. Evolutionary biology, especially as it approaches humans, is in no way politically correct. This is not a safe space, and there will be no taboos. That said, some of what I am interested in doing is understanding the evolutionary bases for unconscionable human behaviors so that we might eliminate them in the future. This is a thank you video, and I'm going to take this opportunity to talk about a little piece of related material, the evolutionary basis of gratitude. What I present here is, formally speaking, a hypothesis. It is in fact the very first lesson that I taught to my first students at Evergreen, and everything I've seen since is consistent with it. Let's take on four related concepts: gratitude, guilt, indignation, and apology. Gratitude is the expression of an honorable debt. I thank you right now for coming along with me on this journey. You have agreed to support this channel and are making it possible for me to bring this evolutionary material to a larger audience, which I have long wanted to do. I am indebted to you for your support. Guilt is the imposition of a debt on oneself, which is experienced as shame. Indignation is like an invoice. Here is a debt that you have yet to recognize. Apology is slightly more complex. It contains an expression of indebtedness that can be cashed in, and is also a communication of awareness of the specific nature of the harm done. By conveying that I know what I did wrong, the apologizer also increases the cost to themselves if they engage in the same thing in the future. An apology is thus a kind of insurance against the same behavior repeating itself. Once you start thinking about apologies this way, it is interesting to watch the tiny debts that cause most apologies, and the release from debt that generally follows. If you bump into somebody, you say, "Oh, I'm very sorry," and they say, "It's no problem," or "It was my fault." It is also interesting to recognize the effects of insincere apologies. An insincere apology exacerbates the harm done. If somebody says, for example, "I'm very sorry that you felt hurt by what I said," they are not acknowledging that they said something hurtful. A sincere apology, on the other hand, mitigates harm. So in summary, gratitude, guilt, indignation, and apology. Gratitude is an expression of honorable debt. Guilt is the imposition of a debt on oneself, which is experienced as shame and likely leads to an apology. Indignation is an invoice. Here is a debt that you have yet to recognize. Apology is both an expression of indebtedness and a protection to those harmed against suffering similar harm in the future. I am grateful to you all for joining this effort and for being early adopters. There is so much to be unearthed. Welcome.